This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, that's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. If you finished this weekend with less money than what you started, chances are there's a handful of guidelines you're not following, free to access guidelines, and also chances are you're not in our free to join Discord. Remember, you have to do the absolute bare minimum to set yourself up for success before the games you bet on even start. The way to do that is to join the free Discord, to download the free version of the PlayerProps.ai app, and then of course subscribe to this free YouTube channel. We drop videos all the time teaching you how to best use the app that I created for you to lose less often. And if you pay attention and you follow the guidelines, all of them, you don't cherry pick, you will lose less often. So, that being said, a quick recap on our show we did on Friday. So if you remember, the last 2 weeks I've been traveling all over the place for these conferences. This week, no conferences, so I'll be doing a lot of video content this week. 2 weeks ago was Malta. Last week we were in Fort Lauderdale, and then I came back early so I could pop out a video for WNBA opener on Friday. We went with Kelsey Plume under. The under did not hit, and she almost tied her career best. Now, what went right, what went wrong? Essentially, we had extremely limited to zero data on how she would operate on this brand new LA Sparks team. So she came from Vegas, where she had the 2 or 3 time MVP winner in Asia Wilson, and she wanted to be her own star of the team, so she went to the Sparks. And we weren't really sure how I was going to operate, so we probably should have stayed away from her completely because we didn't have any data on that whatsoever. And so yeah, that kind of bit us in the butt. But I believe she played last night, and her under did hit last night, so maybe it was like a one-off fluke. We'll pay attention to that. But that's something to pay attention to for any sport. We always bet extremely lightly when a new league begins or a new season begins of a league, because there's a lot of things could change unless like the rosters are exactly the same. But like for the Golden State Valkyries, for example, we've never seen all of those players play together before, so I would probably not even do any Golden State bets for the first. Give them at least like 5 games, 4 to 5 games maybe. But anyway, there's only one WNBA game today, so we're not going to touch on that because remember, WNBA, NBA, it's really hard to find extremely optimal plays when you only have like 3 games or less. The problem with WNBA is they are expanding. They added Golden State Valkyries. They are adding a lot more other teams. But we don't get those amazing like NBA slates because there's not that many teams. Where we'll have an NBA slate of like maybe 10 games in a day or just more than 4. So moving forward, this Monday through Friday educational show to teach you how to use the app I created for you to lose less often, it's pretty much going to be MLB and WNBA mixed together. Whenever WNBA is a good slate, we're going to do WNBA. When they don't, like today with 1 game, well, we're going to focus on MLB. But we're constantly pushing out updates. If you guys aren't familiar with PlayerProps.ai, it's the most frequently updated app in North America for the sports betting space. We're always adding new features, and not just features, but we're tweaking other things and enhancing other things. Like for example, I forgot I haven't switched my camera view over. There we go. For example, like right here, it was just showing you the matchup, but people were like, hey, can you put @ in case to help us know like who's home and who's away? So like things like that. The team trends that we always go to, people are like, can we just add that data directly to the card so we don't have to go into a different tool? So we added that. It's just, it could be the smallest adjustment or a completely new feature, a new tool altogether. But we're always looking to enhance things and make things better. Oh, speaking of which, if you were in the Discord or you're not in the Discord yet, first off, just join it. All you got to do is click the Discord logo at the top of the app or at the top of the website up here. The MLB spread predictor is something I've been focusing on since we launched the new version of it on April 22nd. It went crazy last week. So let me see if I can pull it up. I think On Monday, the top 6 games were the AI projected the plus 1.5 side on the MLB spread. The top 6 hit on Monday. The top 6 hit on Wednesday. There was only, I think, 6 games total on Thursday. Out of all of the predictions, it went 5-1. Friday and Saturday had really great days as well. And so I think, like, from all the ones that we were tracking, it was like 35-3 or something insane, where if you were to bet, maybe it was 28-3, I don't know, something crazy, was only like 3 losses. So if you were to bet $20 each on every single one of those, you would have a $250 profit, which is literally half of the annual pass. So it would have covered 6 months if you would have just done that. So I know there's people out there that want to bet their own thing, like, oh, I only care about MLB money lines. But when I created something that is hitting as often and frequently as the MLB spread predictor, there becomes a point where you need to shift your mindset from, well, this just is what I like to do too. What's going to make me the most money and cost me the least amount of money? MLB spread predictor is outperforming MLB total predictor, is outperforming the MLB money line, is outperforming pretty much any other tool for the team tools that we have. So if you just want to do MLB money lines, MLB money line predictor is still pretty good. But the MLB spread predictor is what is literally printing money since late, almost like a month ago today. But for the sake of the show, we like to focus on player props more than the team bet stuff. So that rambling's over with. Let's do what we usually do. We go to the filters first. This is what you should have been doing every single day that I don't do a show. Every single day. Actually, even the days I do a show. Every single day, you should be doing exactly what I'm doing. That's the purpose of the show existing, to teach you how to use the app I created for you to help you lose less often. So every single day, you go to the filters. If you're starting on MLB strikeouts, you go to 3, change it to 17, click apply. There are a handful of games today, but before I look at anything, there's 5 pitchers right now that have a line higher than 3 and a difference higher than 17. So now what we do is we filter out, okay, who's not a full 1.0 difference? Brandon, 1.2 difference. Bailey, 1.0 exactly difference. Sonny, 1.15. Mitchell, 1.45. And Colton, 1.5. So all 5 pitchers have checked the first 2 boxes. The last box, the trifecta, is, are the sportsbooks favoring the side the AI is recommending? Sportsbooks favor the over, check. Sportsbooks favor the over, check. Sportsbooks favor the over, check. And then for Mitchell and Colton, they're both plus 125 over, which means the sportsbooks favor the under. So all 5 of these are, in fact, trifecta plays. But we're not going to play all 5 of these because we're going to find our most favored option. Now, Sonny typically always is a trifecta play, but he's also someone who is hot and cold when he is a trifecta. So this Philly game right here, I think it was over 5.5, which is normally Sonny's line. He only pitched 3.2 innings, gave up 7 earned runs. I mean, this game was crazy. Like, I think the St. Louis Philly game was like total was like over 15 or more. I think it was maybe even 20. So he's got strikeout stuff, but his earned runs is what's kind of keeping him out. So if we're just solely focusing on the opponent, the matchup data here, Mitchell Keller is versus Cincinnati, which you can see on the screen. They rank over the course of the entire season, they're 4th most in strikeouts. Over the course of the last 3 games average, they're 7th. Both of these are green. Both of these are top 7, and we're looking at going under 6.5. So I am not going, if I have 5 pitchers to choose from for a trifecta, I'm not going to go against one who is both green here, both top 7 when we're looking at under. That's the equivalent of looking at an overplay when both of these are like bottom, like 25 to 30th. So this, not touching it. So now we have 4 left. Brandon's Dodgers matchup. Dodgers are kind of in the middle. They're 15th, literally in the middle over the course of the season. Striking out slightly more than average, 12th over the last 3 games. Somebody we can look at. Bailey, Cleveland is versus Cleveland. Cleveland is 21st most strikeouts, which of course, out of 30 teams, that's relatively low. It's 9 from the bottom. And then he's actually, or not he, but Cleveland is actually 4th from the bottom in the last 3. So they're not really striking out much of anything. So this isn't something that we're like, ooh, this is amazing. So because there's red here, we're going to remove Bailey. We're going to remove Mitchell because they're both green, and we're looking at the under. Sonny's versus Detroit. Detroit is 9th most this season, 16th most in the last 3. Based on that, that's not something we're going to rule him out completely, even though we know he's very wishy-washy. He gets strikeouts, but only if the manager keeps him in there. And if he's allowing a lot of earned runs, the chances are that's not always going to happen, like his last game. And then Colton, the last one on the bottom, he's versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 12th this season in strikeouts, 11 in the last 3, so on par. Colton doesn't have too many games. He's only played 1. He's only started once, which was 5 days ago. He pitched 4.1 innings, allowed 3 runs, and struck out 3 times. The under's minus 160. AI saying he's going to get under 4.5. And of course, he's versus Tampa Bay. So remember, when we're looking at overplays, which this is not the case, when we're looking at overplays, we want this to be 20, and then we want this to be 20. So in his one start, he had 5 plate appearances where he versed a lefty, right? Didn't strike out a single lefty. He had 17 plate appearances in his first start where he struck out 17.6%. Granted, we only have 1 start of data, but this accuracy here, I can only assume that the AI was also targeting his under in his first start, and he only got 3 strikeouts here, you see? So AI is 100% on this guy. What we're adding here, by the end of today, when you hover over this right here, you see where it says 3K, 4.1 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. We're going to add one more stat to that to make it easier to understand the past game. We're adding pitch count. We fought one of our data providers to add that in the feed, and we finally got it. So that's going to be added hopefully by the end of today. But yeah, maybe because he's a new starter, maybe he's got a short leash there. So I don't hate the Colton play. We're not doing Mitchell Keller. We're not doing Bailey. I feel like we should fade Sonny just because he's so hot and cold. And I know Stephanie, who's one of our day one people in the Discord, she hates playing Sonny. So Sonny overs anyway. And so we're not targeting these under. That's something else I want to remind you as well. If you're watching this for the first time, there are the 2 things that I want to address that I say every time is there are 3 things you can do with a bet. You can do over, you can do under, or you can fade. The problem that I see a handful of people who aren't listening and not paying attention doing wrong is I'll say something like, oh, I don't like Mitchell Keller's under because of all this blah, blah, blah data and whatever. And they're like, and then your brain, or not your brain, but their brain would go to, oh, if he doesn't like the under, then let's go over. No, there's absolutely nothing here in the past data in the AI projection to say go over. There are 3 options: over, under, fade. Just because we don't like one side does not mean to force the other side. I'm not touching Mitchell Keller's over just because we're not touching his under. We're fading him. What does fade mean? It means not touching it whatsoever. So yeah, we're not doing Mitchell Keller. I'm pausing on Sonny Gray. I need to see him hit his line, his projected side of his line twice in 2 more starts before we start touching him again. So slight pass on Gray, pass it on Keller. Gordon is a good under. Bailey we're passing on because Cleveland's not striking out a lot in their last 3 games. So the only other one we consider is Brandon. And Brandon's someone we've actually locked in a lot last season and this season. But if you pay attention to his full season data, remember I like to have 20% here. Against righties, he's only doing 18.4 out of 76 plate appearances. So TBF stands for total batters faced. That's essentially the same thing as plate appearances. How many batters has he faced? Not like individual batters. Like if he versus one batter 4 times, that's 4 TBFs, 4 total batters faced. And then against San Francisco here, he allowed 4 runs, 4 innings, and he's versing the Dodgers. Now, his 2 starts ago against the Dodgers, he didn't allow a single run. He got 6 Ks and 6.1. I'm not saying he's a bad play, but I think I'm leaning to the Colton under. Let's see here. So the problem with Tampa Bay's lineup is they have 2 lefties and 1 switch, so potentially 3 lefties. And he hasn't struck out a lefty in his at all in his first start. But he also isn't striking out righties a ton. Like, he only had 3 and 4.1 innings pitched. So because we don't have that pitch count added to this data by the time I'm recording this right now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone to see what his pitch count was, to see if he's just removed because he gave up 3 runs, or if he like got into the 90s relatively early here. Let's see. 5-14 game is what we're looking at. And I'm looking at what Kansas City, Houston. There we go. All right. So he got up to 85 pitches. So in 4.1 innings, only struck out 3, 85 pitches. So that seems to be kind of a leash. I don't know if he's going to get a longer leash or he's going to be able to dip into the 90 pitch counts for today's game. But getting 5 strikeouts is not like the easiest thing to do. And the fact that his data so far through 1 game is kind of favoring his under. He's allowing a .375 batting average against right-handers. It's pretty high. Against lefties, they're not getting a high batting average against them, just .250, but they're also not striking out, so they're just putting the ball in play. So, yeah, this is either going to work out for us or it's not. But we're taking a little risk here. We're doing a guy who only has 1 start this season under his belt and no previous starts last season. So now we're going to see, like, okay, now we go to the props comparison. Is his line higher anywhere else? So on DraftKings and Hard Rock, it looks like it is 4.5, and on FanDuel and ESPN Bet, it looks like it's 3.5. Of course, if you're going under on a bet, you always want to choose the book that has the highest line, which is DraftKings and Hard Rock. And if you have the option to do both, Hard Rock pays you less if you go under. So you see it's -180, and DraftKings is -160. So if you're going under any hits, DraftKings will pay you more than any of these 4 books that we have lines from right now. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to be doing here. Any questions whatsoever, as you see by this big banner on top of the gosh dang screen, remember, if you ever need help, just ask. The only way you can lose all of your money in sports betting is ignoring all of the guidelines and everything that I say and never asking for help. As long as you do those 2 things, you're going to lose your house. If you're not trying to lose your house, follow the guidelines, ask for help, ask questions. That's why we have a Discord. Discord's got 16,000 plus members in it who, some of them ask questions every single day. Some of them answer questions every single day. The whole entire purpose of you joining that community Discord is so you're never doing things by yourself. You always have people to ask for feedback on and questions and help. And yeah, it's the most helpful sports betting Discord on planet Earth because I made it that way. No trolls. There's no such thing as a dumb question. So hop in, lock in, and good luck.